Did the OG Captain come back? And if so, how? In 1973, DC Comics picked up the Marvel family license. So despite what people think, they didn't own the character until 1994. In 1974, a very good year, DC Comics published Shazam #1, starring Captain Marvel, Mary Marvel, and Captain Marvel Jr. This was their first appearance in 20 years. The series ran 35 issues until 1978. A year after his 1973 comic series premiered, the Good Captain appeared once again in live action, this time as a Saturday morning television series, also called Shazam. And in 1981, a Filmation cartoon series also called Shazam premiered. You know, this naming scheme is getting a bit redundant. While all these series were successful to a degree, the Good Captain never reached the same popularity he did in the 1940s. A big part of this may have been because he didn't completely own his own name. See, when Marvel picked up the name and created their own Marvel character, no one who owned or published the Fawcett character could put his name onto anything. Examples would be comics, magazines, or movie titles, and so on. However, they could still call the character Captain Marvel in shows and comics and so on. I imagine, like I said, this is the big reason why he didn't become popular or really popular when he first came back. Another factor for his lack of star power, I think, has to do with that 1973 comic series. The problem with it was exactly like the Golden Age series. That might sound like a good thing, however, comic books by the 1970s were more mature, or rather more sophisticated. Comics then were tackling issues like race, drugs, sex, and so on. The age of the comic book reader also was getting older in the 1970s as well. So the first 33 issues of the Good Captain series just wasn't gonna interest the reader at that time. The art and tone was completely different from what the current reader at the time wanted. I mean, in issue 10, he fights the Salad Man. I will give DC Comics credit though, they did try to put him out more. He was a mainstay in the world's finest comics from 1978 to 1982. After that, he would make a few random appearances in comics like Justice League of America and Adventure Comics. His last pre-Crisis appearance would be in Crisis of Infinite Earths issue 12 though.